So I would like to welcome everyone on behalf of the PECUNIA consortium. This is our final workshop. We originally planned this to be a live event over 2 days in Brussels. Unfortunately, due to the COVID situation, as most other events, we had to decide to turn it into a virtual webinar based on Zoom. We also had to shorten according to the final workshop and decided about a format where we are having pre-recorded video presentations alternating with live Q&A sessions. We hope that in this way we managed to tell as much as possible within such a short time frame over the past 42 months we worked on during the PECUNIA project, and that it will be a very informative event for all. Before we go to the next presentations, I would like to give a few figures about the project just to showcase what happened in the past 42 months and what we tried to achieve. This is the PECUNIA consortium. We are 10 partners from Europe, and in our PI statements, we will introduce each partner in more detail. So I would like to actually go to the next page, where we can see the distribution of the consortium. We are representing 6 countries: Austria, Germany, Spain, Hungary, the Netherlands, and the UK as the consortium. And in the UK, in Spain, and in Germany, we have 2 partners from each country. The consortium was also supported by a fantastic scientific advisory board, and we would like to say a special thanks to Jennifer Beecham, Jose Miguel Caldas de Almeida, John Geddes, Martin Knapp, who is also the chair of our scientific advisory board, Jan van Busbach, Antoni Dedeo Baraldés, Mia Manikő, János Kálmán, Christian Roig, and Ingrid Zeigmester-Koss for their constructive feedback and criticism throughout the past 3.5 years. EUFAMI had several representatives changing each other on the board, and I would like to mention also the initial input of Martin Fragier-Berlet, and special thanks to Spyro Sorbas, who was instrumental in our work with ex-service users and their families as well. Some facts and figures. So altogether, the project lasted 42 months. We started in January 2018. Originally, we planned to finish by the end of 2020, but as most projects, because of COVID, we got some extension, and we are now finishing. We are in the last month, June 2021. We got overall 3 million funding from the European Union to carry out our work plan. We represent 6 countries through 7 universities, 2 research institutes, and 1 SME. The PECUNIA project team consists of 49 scientific staff and 31 non-scientific staff. I think this talks for itself about the complexity of the project, and we are very happy to announce the 6 babies who were born to the PECUNIA group during the project. We have an overall 50-50% female and male PI ratio, and we were trying to be also very active in engaging other Horizon 2020 projects in the areas of HTA or economic evaluations. We tapped on several sectors in our work plan, but I would like to come back to this later when I introduce the project structure, and rather focus here about our output, since this is our final workshop. We developed overall 5 tools, and today's workshop is built around these tools. We screened more than 30,000 titles and abstracts in our systematic literature reviews and had over 150 external contributors. These are experts, stakeholders, including ex-service users and families, or data providers from the mentioned countries. And we are very grateful, because without their support and help, we could have not realized this project. At scientific conferences, we were also very active. We organized 8 workshops, 58 oral talks were given, and 6 poster presentations. Overall, we had 2 PECUNIA workshops, one in July 2019 linked to IHEA in Basel, and today is our final workshop. So far, we published 7 articles, 6 are currently under review, and over 20 are in preparation and close to submission. We also try to convey our project messages to the non-scientific audience and published 5 non-scientific papers. The project is very complex, and I think the best reflection of this is the number of meetings and communication activities that went on over the past 42 months. We had over 65 management team meetings, and here I would like to thank for the URIS team, who were a fantastic support to run this project. Without their help, this would have not been again feasible. And also my colleague Natasha Peric, who together with the URIS team and the Brussels campus team were instrumental in getting this workshop together. We had 34 consortium and committee teleconferences, 4 progress meetings, and I myself as a coordinator had about 300 PECUNIA meetings over the past 42 months with external stakeholders or the consortium. Communication, again, a staggering number I came across by putting together these numbers. I had to handle over 16,000 emails over the project, and I think this also shows the complexity. But we have also very good news about external interest for the project. We had almost 50,000 website visits until the end of May. We published 5 newsletters, and one is forthcoming at the end of June. We also had several online engagement and social media. So a short background to the project. The project plans to address the increasing healthcare costs and the importance of resource allocation in European societies. We chose mental diseases as our case study area, firstly because it's a major public health issue and responsible for about 14% of health expenditure according to the OECD figures, but also because we felt that a lot of the economic evaluation methodological problems and challenges people face are present when working in the area of mental health. One of these challenges are the multi-sectoral impacts or so-called spillover effects or intersectoral costs of health interventions, especially when someone is conducting an economic evaluation from a societal perspective. We also have experiences with multinational studies where there is a need for nationally relevant but methodologically standardized and comparable cost outcome and cost effectiveness estimates, but unfortunately these are currently not available. There is also a lack of standardized international economic evaluation tools. The heterogeneity in cost and outcomes between countries and sectors that currently exist is the main target of this project, or has been. And we hope that with our methodological research, we were able to progress the field, and we can show this today. Firstly, there might be heterogeneity in cost because of the different costing perspectives. As part of our concept paper, we looked at the European landscape and looked at which countries have what recommended perspective for economic evaluations. We can see that it varies very much from I would say, simple healthcare perspective to societal perspective, depending on the country. We also looked at the availability of cost information for economic evaluations. And as of the stand in 2017, we could observe that only the UK, the Netherlands, Germany, and Finland had a national unit cost program. The other countries were lacking standardized information at national level. In terms of heterogeneity in outcomes, the picture is again very similar, even if we just focus on the EQ5D, which is the most commonly used, outcome measure. In terms of an example, the cost of daycare, you can see here a slide where, as part of a multinational economic evaluation here at the department, we tried to establish what is the unit cost. And you can see that there is a variance between about 8 euros in Germany to the Netherlands, where in some sources we find a unit cost estimate of 460 euros. This is staggering difference and clearly cannot be addressed easily in an economic evaluation. And we can imagine what impact it may have if you have to conduct a cost effectiveness analysis alongside these countries. So this heterogeneity may comes from the unit of measurement. In some countries, it was per client attendance, in others per hour per therapy place, and in the other cases per day. But of course, there might be other sources of heterogeneity. One is maybe the difference in the services themselves. And what we planned to establish in PECUNIA is to find units of analysis that are generic enough and transferable between countries, that we can actually have harmonized comparable unit cost estimates. This was one of the main targets. We also looked at how maybe unit cost valuation methods influence the size of a unit cost estimate. And we found in a study conducted here in Austria, estimating general practitioner consultation unit cost, and almost 180% difference depending on the method used. We deployed different international methods. My colleague Susanne Meyer will talk about this later in one of the sessions. So how did we try to announce and address these aims, these challenges? Our objectives were to develop methods and tools for the harmonization of cost in terms of units of analysis and services, in terms of unit of measurement, cost valuation methods, and the availability of unit cost across countries. And we had also a plan for harmonization of outcomes in terms of factors of heterogeneity, availability, and comparability. We designed the project structure three-dimensional. We had 4 work packages, work package 1 till 4, addressing different sectors for cost estimation. Work package 5 focused on outcomes, work package 6 on validation, and we had 2 management and dissemination work packages. We also had 4 horizontal activities which worked across the 4 costing work packages to make sure that all methods are harmonized across the sectors. So the partners had 3-dimensional roles, working for work packages, working for horizontal activities, and also representing countries and having country-level responsibilities. Methods were developed in Austria, Germany, Hungary, the Netherlands, and the UK, and eventually validated in Spain. This is just a quick look at showing the 3-dimensional roles of partners and their work plan and the complexity of the project, and eventually an overall picture about the methods and tools we developed in the past 42 months. So we started with the PECUNIA costing concept. Once this was developed, we embarked on the different steps alongside the 4 horizontal activities: identification, definition, measurement, and valuation. And we developed relevant tools. The first 2 steps addressed the harmonization of units of analysis and services, the measurement step, the harmonization of unit of measurement, and valuation step, the harmonization of availability of unit cost and the valuation methods of unit cost. We also had the PECUNIA outcome concept, where we developed 3 different tools, and about this we will hear in a specific session about outcomes later. We worked over 42 months. This is our roadmap. We had some milestones. The first milestone was the concept paper developed over the first 6 months. Eventually, we embarked on developing country reports and mapping, not mapping, but identifying services in countries and coming up with a comparable list of services and PECUNIA codes, which was the 3rd milestone. We had our satellite workshop at halftime in our project. And since then, we embarked on developing a resource use measurement instrument, our costing templates, and the unit cost compendium. Most of our tools are due in the final validated version at the end of June, and we will deploy all the information how this can be accessed by the end of June on our website, so please go there. The baseline is the PECUNIA costing concept, which started, as I already showed, in 2017. And on the right-hand side, you can see where we achieved and where we are now in 2021. And this will be one of the topics in the first scientific session, following the next flash statements from PIs and the SAB members. Thank you for your attention. I wish all of you a very informative and enjoyable day. And I would like to ask the Maastricht team to start showing the PI statements.